Okay, so this is going to be the explanation for the code. So all the code up here is just both the Bitmoji functions. And these are all the global variables. So there's a current level that exists. So when you press the retry button, it knows what level you are on. So there's checkpoints. The current scene is just what scene you're on is going to draw in the draw function. These two starting, ball start and ball Y start, just reset the position of the ball at the beginning. And um, ball X and player X and Y, those are just the positions of the player and the ball. And this speed and this speed are the speed that's added to the ball every frame. And yeah. And is game running is false so that the ball doesn't immediately start moving. So this is just the con button class. This is a draw character function, pretty simple. So this is a object class for arrows like these. They have a direction, so that stores which direction the arrow is. There's an X and Y position. Um, this is just a function to draw the arrows. And this is a check hit function. And when it hits a certain arrow, like a right arrow, it'll change the X speed to 1 and the Y speed to 0. So the speed for the X and Y is always either -1, 1, or 0. This is a function to draw the ball, pretty simple too. So this is a object class for the obstacles, and it's pretty similar to the arrows. Um, I made it so there's only 3 points in an orientation. So the first 2 points are just the X and Y for the first point, and then the second point is the distance away from the first point, depending on the orientation. So for example, it's vertical, there's this and this, and then the second Y position is 185, but the X position is the same, and it would be the opposite for horizontal. But yeah, they both have check hit functions and draw functions, so they're very similar. But there are multiple lists of obstacles because these are all handmade. Like I had to put them in there individually because all the mazes are handmade, and each list is just a different maze for each level. Yeah, that's just the checking function. Um, yeah, this key pressed function that places the arrows, so it's controlled with ASD. So you place a down arrow with A, left arrow no with S, and left arrow with that, like that. So this is the code to draw the splash screen, nothing fancy there. Um, this retry button, whenever you press it, it brings you back to whatever scene, whatever level you had up to completed. So that's why that current level variable existed. And it resets everything. So it resets the ball to the starting position. It sets the game running equal to false. And it sets the X speed to 1 and the Y speed to 0. And it empties the arrows list, so there's no arrows left on the screen. This is just the lose screen and the win scene. So all these screen 2, maze 2, and maze 3, they're very similar. They if the game is running, it adds the X speed and the Y speed to the ball's position. It draws all the arrows, and it checks hit for all the arrows. And it draws all the obstacles and checks hit for all the obstacles. And this here, that resets the position of everything when you win, so that the ball isn't like already on the goal by the when it go to the next level. Yeah, second maze is very similar. So the third maze is a bit different because it has moving platforms. I'll go up here and show that. Yeah, like that. So I made this by I have the count variable, a speed 1 and a speed 2. So I have two different speeds because you can see it's moving in different directions. And I did that by adding speed 2 to the even numbered positions in the obstacles list, and adding speed 2 to the adding speed 1 to the odd. Or it might have been the opposite, I can't remember. But yeah, for the even ones, I add speed 1. And I only did it up to 4. Like, that's hard coded because I didn't want there's obstacles around the screen, and I didn't want those to move. I only wanted these 3 to move. So it only goes from 4 to the end of the list. And I had them switch directions by I switched the values of speed 1 and 2. Every time count was a multiple of 70, so it switches every 70 frames. This is a draw function. Yeah, it's just if-else statement for the scenes, and this is the code for controlling the player character. Pretty simple. And this mouse click function is just for the buttons. And yeah, that's the project.